Hey everybody. I forgot to do a couple of things. I haven't seen you guys in about 10 days ish. A tensor extension. I gotta fix some stuff. I haven't streamed in a while, so I have to make sure I remember what I'm doing. I think everything's okay now. Probably I'll change the camera a little. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's better. Not sure. It's like I spilled some stuff on me. Darn. I'm so ugly. So, hey everybody, welcome to the stream. I haven't streamed in about 9 days. I was in Saudi Arabia. So hopefully you guys watch some of the coverage of the Esports World Cup. The Esports World Cup's still going on, just the chess part's over. The Real Brapple subscribed for 3 months. Hooray. Thanks for subscribing. We need a lot of subs the next month or so because we're down to the 300s. There's been a lot of breaks because of the World Series of Poker, the National Open, and the Esports World Cup. The last 7 weeks, I've only streamed about 3 of them. Actually, let's say the last 9 weeks, I've only streamed 4 of them. I think that's right. I don't see any breaks coming August, September, so should stream 4 or 5 days a week for the next few weeks. Shouldn't be missing any streams anymore. The stuff that we had to do has already been done. Yeah, I lost my voice the last day of the Esports World Cup, so I was talking like this. My analysis was like this because I couldn't talk anymore. That was actually a good imitation of my voice being gone. So that was embarrassing. Karen can beat me, especially in poker. Chess would be more difficult, but she could beat me in chess too. Anybody can beat anybody in chess, especially me. I actually had to go back 3 weeks because we only had 2 games submitted today. So the game Aldrich versus Bonerici is the first one we're going to look at. Although you misspelled Aldrich. I assume it's Jeff Aldrich, but I can't put my life on that. Yeah, I just lost my voice. I've been pretty sick the last 2 months, and my medication changed, and I'm better now. The tardive dyskinesia is going away, so I shouldn't make weird faces anymore, because it's a neurological disorder caused by medications. My medication's changed, and it seems like the one that's supposed to stop the neurological disorder is working, and the one that's causing the neurological disorder, I changed my medication. So we give it a double whammy, and that should make it so I don't have neurological disorder anymore. I hope. It's Wham. I wonder if it's Wham like George Michael and the other guy, Andrew something. Forgot his name. Yeah, Magna's pretty good. That's what we learned from the Esports World Cup. If you think the stream looks okay, let me know. If you think the camera needs to change or something else needs to change, volume or something. I think the volume and the video are good. The food was fantastic. Everything was buffet, and there were lots of vegan choices. The playing hall had buffets, and the hotel had buffets, and they were all had vegan food. It was surprisingly good. The light squares on the board should be orange. I don't think I can change the light squares to be orange, but I could change the dark squares to be orange. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, that's as orange as I can do it. My shirt's orange, so that's fine. I accidentally switched the colors and put black at the bottom. Actually, Bonerici was black, so my accidental thing of that is actually correct. Have a great week that come. Oh, okay. It's been. So my layover in Paris was an hour and 20 minutes. So I basically went from my flight, walked through Charles de Gaulle, and got on the next flight. And then I hoped that my luggage would make it, but my luggage did not make it. And I checked my luggage. I went to Delta Luggage after my flight since the luggage didn't make it, and they said they would deliver it to the house. Then I checked where's my luggage on a thing that they gave me, some code and website, and it said it was on the plane today. So yesterday I flew from Charles de Gaulle in Paris to here, and on today's flight, the same flight, my luggage is there. And the plane should land about 7:30, which is 20 minutes ago. So if things go well, they'll either deliver my baggage tonight or tomorrow. So I'll either get it by midnight tonight or tomorrow at some point they'll deliver it. I can check online when the stream's over. Although maybe I could check now. Do I still have the website up? Let's see, delta.com. Check bag status. Oh, I don't have the reference number. Anyway, there wasn't a lot of time in Paris to get my bags to the next flight, so they didn't get it. Did you put an air tag in the bag? I did not. I'm an old man. One thing we could do, since we don't have a lot of games to look at today, you guys only submitted 2 games today, and I found 3 games from the last 3 weeks that I haven't looked at, so I added those. One thing we could do is look at games from the Esports World Cup, because I know which games are good, and I understand the games because I saw analysis of the games and analyzed them myself and stuff, so forth. Let's see. No, I don't want that. I mean, I do eventually, but not now. Hey, Ben, what do you think of Adolf Anderson? I think you spelled his name wrong. Although, that could be the way you spell his name, and I'm wrong. Man, the truth hurts. I thought it was O-N. Any Rufus and Doofus games, Paris International Section airport food is horrible. Well, I didn't have any. I did have food in Amsterdam at Schiphol on the way because I had a longer layover in Amsterdam and they have stuff that's labeled vegan and vegetarian and gluten free and whatever. I actually had a vegan chocolate croissant. Man, that was good. Can you analyze the Hans games? Well, Hans didn't play in the Esports World Cup, but he played in the qualifying tournament. And the last game, he was winning against Geary, but he ended up losing on time in a position with no losing chances, and that actually cost him, so he didn't make the tournament. Yeah, he played in the qualifier, and he was unlucky not to qualify. Anyway, to paraphrase Hans, the flag spoke for itself. He got flagged. But yeah, the qualifier and the main event didn't have any increment or delay. Old school. That's the way it used to be before electronic clocks existed. Sometimes the commentators don't analyze the game properly when Magnus is playing. And I don't mean in this event, I mean in all events. They just say Magnus is Magnus, so he'll win. It's not really good analysis of the position. It's not objective on what's going on in the chess position. Just like Magnus is great, so he wins. I mean, that could be true, but that doesn't give you the information you want. Okay, we need somebody to give 75 subs so we can get to 400. Back to where we were weeks ago. We should be on Chess TV in 5 minutes, maybe. I told them to take me off Chess TV a week ago and told them today I would be on. So hopefully they got it right. Were there any standout matches you guys would recommend watching? That's a good question. All the matches are interesting. The most important match is Aldrich Bonerici from the Lansing Swiss in August of 1993. I wonder if I played in that event. That seems unlikely. Did I live in Michigan in 93? I did. I don't think I played in the Lansing Swiss. I thought I might have. Ben, you were great at the EWC. I had imposter syndrome, although to be perfectly honest, I don't know what that means. But if it means what I think it means, then I had it. It seemed like all the other analysts were good and I wasn't. Is that imposter syndrome? Man, all those guys are really energetic and have interesting stuff to say. I was less energetic and had nothing to say. It's when you're scared of pasta, imposter syndrome. What is pasta in chess? Hey, what's the name of this opening? D4, knight F3, knight F3, Bishop f3, e3. Also, what is pasta in chess? Nine and a half out of 10. Faruja Hikaru. Your spelling of Faruja misses a J. But it's still better than you usually spell. And you spelled Hikaru correctly. So that's pretty good. The finals was anticlimactic, as Magnus was too good. I thought Magnus was 3 good at least. Maybe even 4 good. I like the way I changed the board color to orange because somebody asked me to. My shirt has some orange in it, so that makes sense. I guess if you're Dutch, you'll approve. I'm still jet lagged from everything. So Saturday morning, I was in Saudi Arabia and I woke up at 4:45 a.m. Then we left the hotel at 5:45 a.m. We got to the airport at 6:45 a.m. My flight left at 8:40 a.m. We got to Paris at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Then my flight left Paris, and I got to the airport at 7:30 in the evening last night. And then I didn't get home until 9:30 because I was trying to get my luggage, which they didn't have. And that was about 20 hours after I woke up. And then I slept last night normally, and I've been sort of napping a little today. But, still the 7-hour time difference from yesterday. I couldn't look straight at the camera because there were 3 cameras. So it was unclear which camera to look at. And also, who's got negative talent in life? Was that Box? I forgot who it was. Man, that was a long time ago. Push button, press subscribe with Prime. Yeah, and they told us to look at each other more than the camera. Genghis Khan official gave like €1. Hooray, 99 cents. Thanks, Genghis Khan. You're the best. Khan. You're even better than Caro, your brother. Box is a wholesome streamer. Yeah, I don't know who Box is. His name is Box, so that's good. Probably get canceled if he drank Bud Light. I didn't know Box still streamed. Also, I've never heard of him. You're on Chess TV. Yeah, I do have 1,100 viewers, so that makes sense. VC Flight was a good dude. He was? According to Ivanchuk, he was a good duty. Complicated joke. Hi, Chess TV. I'm Ben. Today is Sub Sunday, where I analyze games submitted by subs. Typically, we have about 10 games to look at. That takes up the time. However, only 2 people submitted games, and we had 3 people submit the last 3 weeks when I wasn't doing Sub Sunday because I was either sick or in Saudi Arabia, or both. So we have 5 games to look at over the next 2 hours. Which actually, that's a normal amount of time to look at 5 games. So I'll do my best. But usually I run through the games and I make fun of everything and There's not really good analysis. It's more of a joke because I'm trying to be entertaining instead of, informative. But I guess this stream, we can be more informative because I only have 5 games. So we can do like a deep, analysis of the games with, even though the players are rated, 1,200, every move hangs a queen. I'll point out those moves and so forth. But basically, we'll be killing time. So we need lots of subs. So if you're not subscribed to the stream on Twitch, then you should subscribe because today's Sub Sunday. So you're supposed to sub. That's called Sub Sunday. I didn't do it. So don't forget that. Trump's the president? What? I just watched a Family Guy episode, which aired recently, where like everybody's Mark Twain. Wasn't too good. Family Guy doesn't seem as good as it used to be, I guess because it's 30 years old. Hudstud gifted a sub. That sort of rhymes. Thanks, Hudstud. You're the best. You gave a sub to Batman. That's good. Okay, we need 73 subs to get to 400. So if anybody wants to donate 73 subs, thanks in advance. Also, we need 1 sub or 100 bits to get a hype train. I want to make cartoons. Well, okay. Where are the games submitted? It's too complicated. Basically, the real Brapple gifted a sub, starting the hype train. Thank you. Basically, to submit a game, you need to be on Twitch. Then you need to connect your Twitch to my Discord. Then you need to be a sub on Twitch. Then you have to submit on Discord to the proper channel. Very few people can do all of those things, so we don't have a lot of games. THMSBTS subscribed. Thank you. Thanks for the sub. Yeah, basically, if you're on YouTube, you can't do anything. So this is like basically a Twitch stream that's also shown on YouTube. So if you're on YouTube, you can't do as much as if you're on Twitch. Like subscribe to the stream and give bits and subs and donations and so forth. You can donate from YouTube, but it's different. Playing in the U.S. Open. When I used to play in the U.S. Open, before most of the chat was born, the U.S. Open was 12 rounds. Then for the last 30 years or so, it's been 9 rounds. But I've played in a lot of the 12-round U.S. Opens. Let's see, I played 82 in St. Paul, 83 in Pasadena. Rurf May gifted a sub, thank you. To Trump as a pedo, that's funny. 85 in Hollywood, Florida. 89 in suburban Chicago, I think Rosemont. 92 in Dearborn, Michigan. 93 in Philadelphia. Oh, actually, I played in 86 in Somerset, New Jersey, but I forgot. And I played in 87 in Portland, Oregon. I forgot 2 U.S. Opens. Wow. Then let's see. Then I played 94. Where was it in 94? I tied for first. Am I imagining it? Well, maybe. Oh yeah, 94 was in Rosemont, was in Chicago, suburban Chicago. Yeah, I tied for first in that one. Then I played in 99 in Reno, Nevada. I lost the last round. If I had won against Yermolinsky, I would have tied for first, but I got crushed. That was unfortunate. U.S. Opens, I typically do pretty well. 86, I didn't do well. 82, I didn't do very well, but I was rated 2,000. I think I did well in 83 either. You looked hot as a commentator. Well, the lights were on, so it was pretty warm in there. Yeah, when I used to play in the U.S. Open, there was one schedule. You played 7 p.m. every day. And that was the schedule, and it was 12 rounds. That was it. They've been 9 rounds for a long time, since the 90s. But I played in the 80s in a few of them. I already played Ginger GM twice. We have 2 matches. One was about a year after the other one. Those were years ago. I won both matches. The first match I barely won. The second match I won more convincingly. Do you think you would win today? I don't think I could beat anybody today in anything. I think I couldn't beat people in the chat today. I'd like to see the game I just played on the big screen. Yeah, I'd like $1 billion, but it ain't gonna happen. The one with the trash talk was very entertaining. Weren't they both having trash talk? Anyway, everybody's banned. It's Thomas Beckett. He gave $2.99 Canadian. That's like me owing him money. I mean, thank you. I'm not ignoring people. There's just too much going on. I can't keep track of all of it. I get to it eventually when I see it. Why do people say Fox News is crazy in chat? Okay, so first of all, let me give you the reasons. Number one, Fox News is crazy. So that's the first reason. Okay, second reason is there's a saying that things are crazy like a fox. It has nothing to do with Fox News. It's just a saying. So crazy like Fox News is funny, which I thought I invented, but then I saw it on Futurama. So then I guess I didn't invent it. But mainly it's because Fox News is crazy. And it's a misnomer. It's not news. It's a television show with just lies. 6.5 out of 9. Terrible. There's hundreds of players playing in the U.S. Open, but somebody mentioned Fishbein. And you didn't say whether it was Alex Fishbein or Mitch Fishbein, his son. I wonder if Alex Fishbein's dad is still alive. He was a master too. That's correct, Vanquisher 13. Everything you said is correct. Yeah, if you donate Canadian money, then actually I owe you money. That's how weak the dollar is. By the way, you said you're vegan on podcast of Dina Belankaya. How come you are vegan? What? First of all, that's not how you spell your before vegan. Second of all, you should never ask somebody why you're vegan. You should always ask yourself why you're not vegan, since that's disgusting. So why aren't you vegan, Corey? Also, why do you watch Fox News? It sounds like you're not very well informed. It's very enjoyable to be vegan. Anyway, everybody's banned who's not vegan, which is almost everybody. So you're all banned. Yeah, torturing animals is terrible. It's much more enjoyable being vegan than not vegan. Also, you don't seem to know what the word vegan means, so you should look it up in a dictionary or on the internet. Vegan's not a diet. It just says that you like animals and don't want them hurt, which should be everybody, but some people like to hurt animals or something. Anyway, you're all banned, and thanks for coming to the stream. Okay, let's look at the first game. We've killed enough time. First game is, I assume, Jeff Aldrich, although there's more than one Aldrich, but probably it's Jeff, against Bonerici. These are Michigan players, so I know who they are. Oh, I don't have the sound on. Against Bonerici. These are Michigan players, so I know who they are. Oh, I don't have the sound on. Against Bonerici. These are Michigan players, so I know who they are. Yeah, I didn't turn the sound off, and I didn't turn the sound on. And I'm serious. Like, my speaker wasn't on, and I had the sound on the YouTube feed so that if the sound was on, you would have heard me twice, which you just did. So I turned the sound on where it's supposed to be on, and I turned it off where it's supposed to be off. Because of this, we can now hear the moves. See, we heard that move. Okay, this is called the Grunfeld, named after Ernst Grunfeld, not Yehuda Grunfeld, no relation. Yehuda Grunfeld is a grandmaster from the 80s, 90s, and 2000s. Ernst Grunfeld is from the 1920s and 30s. That's why it's called the Grunfeld. Okay. So this is the main line of the Grunfeld. Typically, black plays c5 earlier, but transposed. Okay, and this position has been argued about for centuries, also for like 80 years. Black has a lot of moves here. Black can play bishop g4, knight a5, c takes d4, queen c7, and b6. And maybe there's even other moves, I don't know. Queen c7 is the old move, and then nobody played it for 30 years. Then people started playing it again. Also, bishop d7 is a move. Anyway, the world's leading authority on the black side of this position is Peter Svidler. So you can find a lot of Svidler games in this position. Okay, so queen c7 is one move. That's an old move. Was popular in the 60s. Queen c1, I've never seen before. I assume that Aldrich was out of his preparation and just played the move queen c1 instead of queen d2 or rook c1. I think rook c1 is the most common move. Queen c1 seems okay. I'm not, I can't complain about that. Okay, black played a6. Unusual move. Typically, when black plays a6 early at a Grunfeld, white will take on c5 and try to hold on to the extra pawn. The engine says h4 is the best move because it's an engine. Knight f4 is the second best move. Knight f4 doesn't make any sense because it weakens the d4 square. So nobody would ever play the move knight f4, ever. Okay, so you played a4, or Aldrich did. That's legal. Knight a5 is good. Bishop a2 is good. Bishop d7 is okay. Again, white should be taking on c5 when black plays a6. Queen a3, it's a strange move, but it's okay, I guess. cd, probably better is to play something like b6 or rook c8 or e6, because the c3 pawn is weak backwards, so black trading there doesn't really make a lot of sense. Okay, black defends the e pawn, rook c1. Yeah, now white's just better because black shouldn't be taking on d4. King h1 doesn't make any sense. That has nothing to do with the position. White should play bishop f4, threatening bishop c7 or d5, gaining space. King h1 has nothing to do with the position at all. Now, Bonerici played a good move, which typically would mean something is amiss. But this game was played in 1993, so there's no way that Bonerici did anything amiss. b5. An excellent move. The point of a6. Now black is okay. Knight c3. Engine doesn't like it so much. e6. Engine likes that. Rook b1. And rook b1 is a losing move. And now black can always retreat and win the game, which black did do. Bonerici played a brilliant move here, following a rule which hadn't been invented yet. Always play bishop f8 in 1993. Bam! An easy move to overlook. The queen must move, then b4 attacks the knight must move, and then a4 is hanging, and black has two connected passed pawns on the queen side, and black is threatening b3, winning the bishop. So bishop f8 was brilliant, and white shouldn't have allowed it, but he had a good excuse. He didn't see it. That's a good excuse. Now the engine says that white is completely lost. The game concluded bishop d2, another poor move. Rook c8, another good move. Queen e1. Rook c2, not a bad move. Rook a1. Bishop b5, excellent move. Black is all over white. Look how aggressive black is playing. Queen d1 is correct. Bishop takes e2 is correct. Always play bishop f1. Man, black played bishop f8 and bishop f1 this game. No wonder he won. Now black is up two connected past queenside pawns. White has no compensation. Now black's up three pawns. White sacks a piece for nothing. Then he gets it back. Bam! Oh! Black missed a nice checkmate here. Bonerici could have played rook c1 check, and then if bishop takes rook, checkmate. And if rook to d1, then checkmate. So Bonerici misses checkmate. If you don't see the checkmate, then you should see queen takes bishop with the idea of checkmate. Bonerici played rook e2, which also wins, but not as easily. Man, the truth hurts. Maybe this is even easier than checkmate. Queen d1 instead of resigning. Much better was resigns. Bishop d6, the truth hurts. Boy, white threatened checkmate, but then black pinned the queen to the king. Black's up so much material now that I'm confused. Usually people aren't up two queens and making a third queen. God damn. I definitely hadn't invented bishop f8 before 93. Man, Vanquisher 13 has some good quotes. Yeah, in this position, white resigned. Bonerici too good. But yeah, back earlier in the game, it would have been better to checkmate with rook c1 check. That would have made the game not last so long. Would have saved us 12 moves. Also, queen takes bishop was Like if you don't see rook c1 check, you should see queen takes bishop and then rook c1 check. You should see one of them. The food was good. You were in diapers in 93? What were you, 18 years old? Oh, snap. The president's in diapers now. Truth hurts. When you're a baby and when you're on your deathbed, you're in diapers both times. You were not existing in 93, but existing is like basically all I do. All right, we'll take an hour break before the next game. You guys can donate or something or give subs or, whatever you guys do. I'll draw arrows on the board. Wii. Nintendo Wii. Ooh, that's a good stream. Me saying Wii and drawing arrows. Go Bonerici. Yay, it's your mom joke. These jokes cannot be explained. Corey C is banned for not being vegan or understanding what it is. Where is a good place to start in the Dvoretsky? What? I need a translation to English. He really Bonerichi'd that game. Yeah, I agree. That was pretty Bonerici-esque. Boy, bishop d6 is good, and the other strong move is f6. f6 is almost as good, but not quite. Almost. f6 is made in 10, and bishop d6 is made in 8. Being vegan has nothing to do with eating, so you're banned for not knowing what a vegan is. Go to the internet and look up the word vegan. Are bugs animals? Ugh. Anyway, you're banned because you don't know what anything is. Plant-based is not eating animals. You still get Perrier sent to you. I haven't had Perrier in years. Sounds like somebody never comes to the stream anymore. Ooh, being full of luminosity. I like that. Good job, Bonerici. Bonerici is no longer banned. I don't think he was banned before either, but just to double check. The only one who's banned is Corey. And the reason Corey is banned is because his name rhymes with allegory, Montessori. That's why he's banned. Oh, water. I've had dinner with Nakamura dozens of times. I've never had dinner with Trump. Or anybody named Trump. Not even Donald Trump, just anybody else named Trump. I've still never had dinner with them. At the tournament, very briefly, I saw Nakamura in the hallway, and Nakamura looked at me and said, "What are you doing here?" And I said, "Working." And that was the only interaction we had. However, I congratulated Nakamura's wife on Twitter for being pregnant, and she said thank you eventually. As you all know, Magnus's wife and Nakamura's wife are expecting, to have children, and so forth. Yeah, I'm a level 4 vegan. I can't eat anything that casts a shadow. Who is more likely to make U.S. chess master, me or Puzzled Pawn? Equally likely. Some things are equal. Do you think Hikaru's child will be a GM? Nobody will be a GM. Except Magnus's child. Vanquisher is banned. Zippy Tuna 2112 subscribed. Thanks, Zippy Tuna. You're the best. You've subscribed for 2 months. Do you think Elon Musk will be deported? Obviously. Vanquisher is banned. Why you stop drinking Perrier? I don't know, because you spelled it wrong. If you had spelled Perrier correctly, I'd be drinking it now. Now I'm drinking regular water. As Mike Kummer once said, Perrier. And by once, I mean every time. That was a pretty good game. Let's see. What did Bonerici say about that game? I like moves like Queen of Queen 2 and Rook CT in the game. So I tried the best I could to figure out the moves. I didn't play Rook C1 check winning the game on the spot because I didn't see it. Yeah. The next game we're going to look at has no commentary, but Z-Boss Chess. White is 1040 and black is 1183. Time control 1 over 86,400. I guess that's one move a day. Why isn't Gotham Chess a GM? Good question. Probably because he doesn't have enough GM norms. Would 2 levies beat Magnus? What, like in a fight? Probably. LaCroix is way better than Perrier. It is? I've had plenty of LaCroix in my life. You couldn't even become a GM at a fast food place. Terrible. Although your name is Zippy Tuna, so maybe. Maybe at a seafood place. As long as they're vegan. I asked Magnus if he was going to play a match with Levy, and he said yes. And I said, how are you going to prepare for it? And he said, by listening to Led Zeppelin. So there you go. I think the U.S. Open was at a McDonald's, not a Wendy's. Only about 2% of people got the Led Zeppelin joke. That was the point. I didn't want everybody to get the joke, then you'd be confused. But Mr. Riz got it. That's the important thing. Ramen Packet got it. Is Daniel Naroditsky playing at U.S. Open? I think so. I thought Naroditsky said he wasn't going to play slow chess anymore. Is the U.S. Open over? Is today the last round? AJ, why is Naroditsky everywhere online but never in OTB? He lost to 2,300? Man, the truth hurts. Sometimes you lose when you play chess. Yeah, I saw he won the Blitz event with a perfect score, or better than perfect. Is WGM better than normal IM? Getting IM norms is slightly more difficult, and the rating requirement is slightly more. So it's slightly harder to be an IM than WGM, especially for men. It's much harder. Actually, for men, it's easier to be an IM than WGM. To rethink that. Okay, let's look at the next game. Both players are about 1100. Z Boss Chess is black. He submitted the game. C3 is a bit passive. White should play C4 because that's explosive. Well, I guess C3 is also explosive. Ooh, Queen A4 check. That's not the best move. Ooh, Bishop B5. That's not very good either. Black has the two bishops. What else? Yeah, black's already winning strategically. Yeah, black has two bishops, a lead in development, and white has doubled pawns. Bishop takes B1, confusing the audience. The engine says that move is good because after takes, Queen G5 forks the pawns. Z Boss Chess winning a pawn, like a boss. $100 bits. Thanks for the 100 bits. I can't read what you wrote because you wrote too much, but thanks for the 100 bits. So far, black's playing better than perfect. Yeah, white doesn't have a lot of counterplay. Rook H3 is a strange move. Yeah, back to H6 is good. Yeah, black's just playing great. Wow, D4 is a good move too. Ooh, King F2. Ooh. Ooh. White's made some bad moves, but King F2 is going too far. Ooh, King G1. Yeah. White resigned. If white plays Queen G2, not only does Queen takes Queen win, but Queen D1 check really wins. It's extra winning. Then, instead of mate in 1, you can repeat. And then play mate. That's better than just mating right away. Yeah, so here white resigned. Z Boss Chess was a boss that game. Z Boss Chess played like his rating was over 2,000 that game. That was a brilliant game from Z Boss Chess. Yeah, white was never in the game. Agreed. I mean, white's rating was 1040, and that's about how he played. But black played like 2,200 plus. Yeah, I think if Kramnik saw that game, he would investigate if he found out black was rated 1,100. Black only did one thing that game that didn't make any sense, and that was in this position, black played Rook H3. That doesn't... That move has no point. Otherwise, black's play was on point. And then white's defense was, well, there's good and there's not good. His defense was not good. Yeah, Kramnik investigate this game because black played too well. Black played like Karpov, except black's rating's 1180. Man. Yeah, I'm already tired. I slept pretty well last night too. Usually I wake up all night. I don't remember waking up at all. I must have. I don't remember doing it. I think I woke up once. Was the plan to double rooks on H? I don't think so. I think there was no plan. Just rook H3 looked good. Woke up at 3 this morning and watched cricket. What's worse, waking up at 3 or watching cricket? Man. The next game is from Sit Bear. I can't tell which player is Sit Bear. It says white NN, black person who played F6. I guess Sit Bear's black because played the French defense. I don't think Sit Bear plays E4. Yeah, also with the ELO rating, 1619, that seems like Sit Bear. Yeah, that was a great game. Agreed. I'm okay. I'm tired. I mean, I got in last night, and yesterday was 7 hours later than it is now. So, like on Saudi time, it's 4 in the morning here. I'm gonna get a water because I'm thirsty. I'll be back. All right, the best part of the stream is over when it's just a chair. My phone has 100% already. Do you have a favorite opening, Ben? I guess the Queen C2 Nimzo for white. I guess. Okay, so I think Sit Bear's white. Or no, I think Sit Bear's black. He usually doesn't say that he's NN. So exchange French, very boring. Very equal. Ooh, castling queenside's a bit crazy. Yeah, but black could just castle kingside and be equal. Now the engine says white's winning. Yeah, in this position, white has a tactic which both players missed. White has queen a3 attacking the knight and the a pawn. Instead, white played a4. Now black is okay. Ooh, never play f6. The engine doesn't like f6. So that's good. Yeah, now rook e6 just wins a piece. Yeah, here black's already losing. So rook g8's the losing move. It says black should play knight f8 so he can play rook d7 and rook h7, defend his knight. You know, white's just up a piece. That move loses more material because of rook 1 takes. Another blunder from black. This is very instructive. That rook e6 wins a piece. And obviously, when white played rook e2, white was going to double rooks the next move. So black should have been thinking about what to do about that. And here, black, there's nothing black can do. Black's losing material here. Probably should play knight f5 and lose a pawn. But it seemed like black wasn't looking at what white was going to do. And then here, rook takes just wins another piece. Always repeat. Yeah, if black plays king a4, then knight c5 check and queen b3 mate. Now black loses the queen. So Sitbear resigned. That game had a lot of instructive mistakes. Castles was the first mistake because queen a3 would win a pawn, which both players seem to miss. Then f6 is a mistake, weakening e6. f6 weakens the e6 square, and then white won the game because white played rook e6. So f6 was the cause of and solution to all of white's problems. These aren't national masters. These are 1600 players. Okay, let's see who submitted the next game. Hi, Ben. This was a game I played against one of my managers at work. He suggested submitting the game for review. For moves 1 to 19, we spent a few minutes to a day on each move. For moves 20 to the end, we spent only a few minutes on each move. My chess.com blitz rating at the time was about 1800. My manager's blitz rating was about 1000. But it was from games he had played about 5 years prior to this one. I was black. Okay, so you guys get the deal. Yeah, you misspelled the word if. Hans the Waller is banned. Same joke over and over again. Ugh. Our hero has black. It's the King's Gambit. Still theory. Ooh, bishop e6. That's a move I don't know. Knight a3. There's a move I don't know either. Yeah, that's not good. White should sack a piece by taking this and getting compensation. Yeah, now after G3, black is just winning. White has to move the king. Now black is winning. 3 connected passed pawns. What else? Yeah, and there's no reason to give this pawn away. Black should play G3 and get these 2 connected passed pawns. Bishop H6. Interesting move. It's not a good move, but it's interesting. Yeah, now white's winning. Bishop H6 is a blunder. The idea is if you take this, I can take with the knight and stop G2. The engine says it's equal. Ooh, that's a bad move. Allowing knight e5 check. Ooh. Yeah, this is a good pawn structure. Nice center pawns. White should play knight d2 and get his knight back into the game. Now black's winning. And white resigned, which was the correct thing to do. That was a very interesting game. So black's winning out of the opening. G3's a mistake. Black's winning. Then in this position, black blundered with bishop H6. Now white's better. Then in this position, rook H3's a mistake. Rook D1's a mistake. Now black is, and then D5 just loses. After D5, I think black was winning the rest of the game. Because black's kingside pawns are too strong. Yeah, and then black is just up a lot of pawns here. And in this position, black's threatening rook G1. So white has to play rook H1. Then, okay, this is just easily winning. Wow, interesting game. Very interesting game. Okay, the last game is from Mitchell. I was black here, pair it up. Time control, game 60, delay 5. This was in the U.S. Open this week. Odds are I'll be playing my last round during your analysis. Although I don't think he is. I'm wondering on your take. The engine says black is fine for most of the game, but I was struggling to find any kind of plan. Eventually was squished and made a bad blunder. Okay, let's have a look. Our hero has black. Got transposed into some French defense. And G4 is not a good move. Yeah, black should almost always play H5 when white plays G4. F6 is okay. Yeah, black is slightly better. Yeah, the engine doesn't like castling queenside, wants to castle kingside. The rook's on the open F line then. But it still says black is slightly better. Looks like black's playing fine. Yeah, and here it wants you to play g5. You want to get rid of the f pawn, so you have e5 for your pawn or your knight. You trade off a side pawn for a pawn controlling the center. It's also good, rook f8. Yeah, giving up your bishop probably isn't the right thing to do. Two bishops, what else? Yeah, you're still better here. Yeah, and you don't want to do that and put his knight on e4. Bishop can't really move anywhere, so g6 is good. Okay, now it's just equal. Yeah, you don't want to do that and let him play f5 and have this nice pawn chain against your bishop. Yeah, h5 is what you want to do. You want him to play g5 or take, so your knight has the f5 square. So you want to play h5 and get it as king. Yeah, now you're slightly worse. Now you're equal again. c4 is good. Now you're better. Yeah, the engine doesn't like g6. The engine wants you to play rook c8. Activate your rook on the c file. It still says it's equal. Ooh, it doesn't like b6. It wants you to play c3. It doesn't like taking, wants you to play c3. Because the open c file is going to be good for white now. Ooh, never sack the exchange. It doesn't like that move. Now it says you're equal. I'm not sure why you played queen e7 in this position. Yeah, queen b4 makes more sense. Yeah, queen e7, just let him skewer your rook, queen, and pawn. Ooh, and that move loses it right away. Yeah, it wants you to play queen here, so you can play rook c2 check. Queen c1 is the only move. Then you're threatening rook c2, and if king here, queen g3 is going to be mate. Now you're just lost, it says, because nothing you can do here. Well, that just hangs mate. No, your position was fine, and then this is where it started to go downhill. This position's equal. You play queen e7, walking into a fork. And then here you play queen c2 check, which just loses the game immediately. And now you don't have any moves. Now you're just lost. You have to play bishop c8 and play this position. Then you still have chances. You have a passed pawn, check, take the pawn. It's still a game. But yeah, you had to play queen c1 here. The engine says white's +1 if white plays rook f2 or queen f1. If white takes this, then this is just a draw, it says. And it says this is a draw. Because it looks like both sides have perpetual check. Yeah, this is where you made the losing move. Queen c2 check. Anyway, that was an interesting game. Everything looked terrible? No, your game was fine all the way. Don't be so negative when you're playing. Be positive. Say, this looks great. That's all the games that I have for this week. I even went back a few weeks and looked at some games that people submitted 3 weeks ago. So now we're caught up. So the next few Sundays, we should have lots of games. You guys can submit games. I'm not leaving any more Sundays. So should just be sub Sunday the rest of the Sundays through the year. But we do need some subs. So we did the Sunday part. Now we need the subs. Is the hippo defense good? I don't know if good's the right word. If something's called the hippo defense, can it be good? Oh, snap. What chessable courses are good for those seeking a title? Like 2,000 plus OTB. It's not really a title. Any chessable course by me is good. I have chessable courses in Spanish, German, and English. And I have them on the Spanish, the French, the English, the German. Would you consider a theme sub Saturday? I would not. Damiano defense, terrible. You see the video on Damiano's defense that I made last week. All right, I'm tired, so I'm going to have to end this stream early. This will be my last stream less than 3 hours. From now on, the streams are going to be 3 hours, but I'm just too tired from the jet lag and all that. But I'll raid Gotham chess. All right, guys, I'll see you guys on Tuesday. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a good weekend.